Don't forget to tune into the Coachella Valley Sports Report Saturdays, 11 a.m. on Fox Sports 1270 a.m. from the InjuryFirmLaw.com studios.
Coming to you from the Fox Sports 1270 studio in downtown Palm Springs, this is the Coachella Valley Sports Report with your host, Coach B.
This is the Coachella Valley Sports Report. I am your host, Coach B, and we are broadcasting from the InjuryFirmLaw.com studios. I got to get used to that. We just had them come on as a sponsor, so we appreciate them. This is Fox Sports 1270 AM, and we are streaming 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. And also, if you get a chance, check us out on Fox 11. We're on Friday mornings. I'm excited. This is going to be our first show, so Coachella, don't get upset to me. Don't get upset with me if it seems a little funky. We're trying to figure out this TV format, so we're housekeeping, so we're changing some things in. But I've got one of the coaches in here. I want to say thank you to this gentleman because he was one of the first coaches that embraced us when we came to market. When we first came out here, he, I always have this joke. He can come over to the house, go right in the refrigerator, get the red Kool-Aid, go ahead and dig right on in. So that's how comfortable I am with Coach Sobczyk. Did I get it right that time, Coach?
Got it right. Yep, got it right.
Okay, I want to make sure that I get it right. So we're going to talk a little bit. We're going to talk a little basketball, Coach, first of all, congratulations on your season. I know it was a grind, another successful year with your program. Talk to me a little bit, of course, we're talking about Palm Desert boys basketball. Talk to me about the season. You were here earlier on. You were at Media Day, and then you were in studio. And tell me about the season. How did it go for you? What are your thoughts about it, Coach?
I thought the season went well. I thought we dealt with a lot of adversity. Losing Ja'Cory Jones over to Elsinore, who had a great season, him and Cam Nathan, and they went 29-1 and played in Division II. And was really happy to see all their success. He was league MVP last year. He shared it. Losing a player like that makes things tough. But we had 5 seniors to start the year, and one of them made his way over to Rancho Christian for reasons, and the 4 guys that were there, Paul Dreisbach, Will Wilson, Jordan Preciado, and Zane Jordan, thought they did a really good job. They picked up the load and became the seniors that they should be.
Right.
We finished 20-8. With all the adversity we went through, I couldn't be more proud of the group. Obviously, a first-round exit against a very talented Blair team was not how you want to go out. But not having Will Wilson in that game, he hyperextended his knee against Rancho Mirage, our last regular season game. He was our leading scorer. So for us to go in there and it's a 3-point game with 2 minutes left to go, like I said, against a very talented Blair team with what their point guard is going to be. He is a Division I prospect, and the other one, their shooting guard, their 6'4" kid, is going to be probably a Division II kid, potentially a low-level Division I kid. For us to go out there and battle shorthanded and have our chances to win was admirable, and I was very proud of him.
Yes, great season, like you said. Finished 20-8 overall, 7-3 in a very, very competitive Desert Elite League. The usual suspects are always there. You guys are always going to battle Palm Springs when you guys get in there. But what a season you all had. And just talk to me a little bit. You had some seniors. You had them in studio here. We talked about it with Media Day. What is it going to mean? It's hard. And one of the things, your coach, Palm Desert girls basketball, he corrected me because I said, Coach, you only have a couple of seniors. He said, first of all, it is hard to replace our seniors. So he corrected me. He coached me up, Coach.
Sure.
So talk to me about the impact of losing those seniors and what it's going to mean to you.
It's always tough to lose seniors, guys who've been there for a while and, have won a lot of games and done a lot of good things for us. But I think the benefit of having, 4 seniors is them teaching the younger guys, the way to do things and how to work correctly and how to watch film and how to lift correctly and just do all the little things to become good high school basketball players. And we have 4 freshmen that played with us this year. Micah Brown, who was second team All-League, is going to be a very special player in this area for a very long time. And, they just learned how to do things correctly through our seniors. And, by losing our seniors, I think a lot of people think we're going to be down next year. And, I think the opposite. I think that, our infrastructure is so strong and what we've built over there in the last 6 years is so strong that, it's a next man up mentality. And these young guys are going to step up and they're going to be ready to go. We're going to make sure of it.
Right. Absolutely. Like you said, Coach Emmer, the girls basketball coach. And, we talked to him. It's one thing, and when we had your Coach 40 in, the mantra is all in.
Sure.
What is it about the culture over there at Palm Desert? And you're an alumni.
Yeah. That the all in moniker got brought in by I believe Shane McComb, who's now over in Alabama coaching, and I just think that everybody has the mindset of, no matter what happens, the circumstances, things that go good or go bad, I think that you step in and you have an expectation to go out there and perform. And I think that not only the basketball program, but all 24 programs we have on our campus have that same mindset. So I think that's kind of why we've adapted the all-in moniker and kind of go forward with it.
Absolutely. And you're right. All programs, your football team's good. Your boys and girls basketball team's good. I know baseball's always good. I don't want everyone coming after me. I know everyone's good at Palm Desert. Let me just make sure I let that be known. But tell me a little bit, what are you thinking about next year? You said you have some freshmen. What are you thinking about next year? And also with the exposure that you're getting with your success, people always say people are now coming out here past the windmills to come out. You've got to be excited about the future, and then you guys are starting to get some looks out here.
Yeah, I think the desert's growing. I think, especially having you out here, I think it's getting more publicized, which is a really good thing. It's great for these kids, not only the Palm Desert kids, but the kids throughout the entire valley. I just think that, going forward, I think that it's just going to continue to expand, and like you said, Palm Springs and Rancho Mirage and Shadow Hills and La Quinta, and everybody's going to continue to get better because the valley's population is going to grow. So therefore, more people, in theory, more talent, right? So I just think that it's just going to get more and more talented as we go forward out here.
Right. It's interesting when you hear that. When you hear the people who've been here a while. They say there are only a few schools now. Now schools are expanding. The Shadow Hills is a fairly new school. But talk to me a little bit. We have a couple of minutes before we go to commercial. This new league, it's going to be 3 levels. I know we had chatted about it before.
Yep.
It's going to be 3 different levels. You're going to be in the upper division.
Right. So the top division is going to continue. So there's 14 teams in our area that are broken down into 3. It's a super conference, but there's 3 levels to it. So the top one is going to continue to be the DEL, and that's going to be us, Palm Springs, Rancho Mirage, Shadow Hills, and Banning. And then the middle division, and I might get this wrong, middle division is La Quinta, Xavier, Desert Hot Springs, 29 Palms, Indio.
Okay.
I want to say.
Okay.
And then the bottom division is Coachella, Yucca Valley, Desert Mirage, and Cathedral City.
Okay.
And those divisions are based off of where you finished in CIF this year as a new thing that they're doing. Going forward, if you win the middle division, you move up to the top division, and the team from finishes last place in the top division goes down to the middle division, and so on and so forth. So
now we're doing the regulation.
Yep.
Like with football.
Sure. Exactly.
Yes, that's going to be exciting. And I know coaches also know who you're going to play. Are you guys traveling? Any big tournaments or any invites that you guys are going to next year?
So we're still in the process of getting our season schedule, solidified. We got 28 games that we have to fill. Obviously, 8 of them will be league games, so we've got 20 that we've got to be able to fill. As of right now, it's still kind of in the process. We should have that all sewed up by. I usually like to get it done by May.
Okay.
So I'm still in the process of it. I know Servite's coming out to us this year, and they're obviously in the Trinity League, and they're very talented. They got a couple of Division I guards, and we're gonna play them. And outside of that, I'm not quite sure what tournaments we're gonna play in quite yet. Now we got to schedule more games, so it might be an additional tournament to fill those spots, but. With a young group, we're going to try to challenge them early. So, not only for next year, but for the next 3 years, they're ready to go.
And that's got to be exciting for you, Coach, when you think about the growth and the expansion, and now you're adding more games and you're doing stuff. And and you're a humble man. And I remember last year we'll talk about the All-Star game that you graciously agreed to coach again. I remember going to your practice last year. I looked up. I was like, "Is that your name up there?" So you've got to love it. Do you tell these young players, "I've been there"? You played college basketball.
I did.
Yes. And you say, "Hey, I know how to get there."
Yeah, it's never one of the, I'm in a conversation with the kid in the middle of practice trying to explain something, and I don't do the whole point at the board thing. That's not really my MO. But they understand. They understand that I've been there, and I've had success as a player and a coach, and there's not too much argument when it comes to that. But it's, I think it's cool to have names on the board because it gives kids things to shoot for, whether it be league MVP or all CIF or, one of the leading scorers. It gives them an idea of if they do things well and they work hard, that they can potentially get their name up there. And once your name's up there, it usually stays up there for quite a while.
Absolutely. And, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Once again, we have Coach Sobczyk.
Yes, sir.
I got it. I worked on it. He coached me up and made sure I got it right. Yep. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Once again, this is the Coachella Valley Sports Report. I am your host, Coach B. We're broadcasting from the injuryfirmlaw.com studios on Fox Sports 1270 AM. We're streaming 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. And make sure you catch the simulcast on Fox 11 Palm Springs.
Can't get enough of the Coachella Valley Sports Report? Then make sure you follow us. We're on X and Instagram at CVSR Fox Sports.
Don't forget to tune into the Coachella Valley Sports Report Saturdays, 11 a.m. on Fox Sports 1270 a.m. from the injuryfirmlaw.com studios. An accident can change your life in an instant. One moment you're driving to work, the next you're dealing with pain, stress, and bills that just keep piling up. That's why you need the Injury Firm, the official law firm of Fox Sports 1270 AM and the Coach B Show, to step in and protect your rights. If you've been injured because of someone else's negligence, the Injury Firm should be your first call. Car accidents, slip, trip, and falls, dog bites, and much more. They will guide you through every step and work with you to get the compensation you deserve. They don't just talk results. They have recovered millions for their clients. So don't go it alone. Get a team that's on your side from day one. Call the Injury Firm today at 949-575-8875 or visit them on the web at injuryfirmlaw.com. The Real Estate Solution upholds an ongoing commitment to providing an elevated level of personal service. Their clients come first. And as a result, they are able to achieve more than they've ever dreamed with their real estate investments. Take it from me, Coach B. I am a personal client, and from the start, they exceeded all my wife and I expectations. Give them a call today at 888-768-3918. That's 888-768-3918. Ask for a free real estate report. You can get exclusive VIP reports to help you with your next purchase or sale and learn how to invest your time and money wisely in this market. Finding your dream home has never been easier with the Real Estate Solution. Call them today at 888-768-3918, 888-768-3918, or visit them on the web, therealestatesolution.net. DRE number 020886261. Don't forget to tune into the Coachella Valley Sports Report Saturdays, 11 a.m. on Fox Sports 1270 a.m. from the injuryfirmlaw.com studios. This is the Coachella Valley Sports Report. I am your host, Coach B. We are broadcasting live from the injuryfirmlaw.com studios. I promise you I will get better at saying that, but I want to thank them. They just signed on as a sponsor here at Fox Sports Radio, so we absolutely appreciate them. And we are streaming on Fox Sports 1270 AM, and as always, we are streaming 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. And when you get a chance, catch the simulcast on Fox 11 Palm Springs, where also the show is also seen on YouTube. So if you can't see it live, always go and check out the YouTube link. Once again, we have Coach Sobczyk in studios with us. We're just going to have a casual conversation, Coach. We're just talking a little hoops, talking a little basketball. And, I wanted to talk to you a little bit. This got me excited. You said you have your NBA, because you're a hooper. You are a hooper. You have your NBA top 5, Coach. So go ahead and drop your top 5. Who you got in the top 5, Coach?
Are we going all time, or are we going
whatever you
today?
Want? Whatever you want. Whatever you want. See, me, I don't. It's kind of like music. I don't really listen to hip hop anymore because it's not my music. So I listen to sports talk radio all day now. So I'm an old timer. So my age starts with the 5 now. But whatever you want to go, Coach. It's all on you.
All right. Well, like we were talking about, my buddies and I have this conversation often, and we disagree about some things. We all agree that Mike's number 1.
Okay.
I think there's Mike. And then I think there's a sizable gap.
Okay.
So that's where I'm at. Nobody's ever going to change my mind with that. But my top 5 all time, Mike's 1.
Okay.
Mike's 1. Not a lot of people will like it. I got Kobe at 2.
Okay.
Okay, I got Kobe at 2. I'm not going to put LeBron in there. We're gonna skip that. I got Larry.
Okay. Larry Legend.
I got Duncan.
Uh-huh.
And I've got Shaq.
Okay.
That's my 5.
Okay.
And that's a 5. That's a 5 to try to win games.
Right.
That's where I'm going with that. I think,
Right.
Obviously, you could put LeBron in there. You could put Kareem in there. You could put Magic in there. You could put Durant in there. But that's the 5 that me as a person and a basketball mind, that's my 5.
Now, Coach, tell me if you can tell that I'm born and raised in California or not. So I got number 4, I got Shaq.
Okay.
I'm sorry, number 5, I got Shaq.
Okay.
At number 4, I got Kareem. Mm-hmm. At number 3, I got Kobe.
Okay. Okay.
Number 2, I got Magic.
Yep.
And then I'll give it to that other guy.
Okay.
I'll give you Jordan.
Okay.
But Kobe, to me, Kobe's great. I love Kobe, but Magic is no one will ever be better than Magic to me.
No, I love Magic. It's a preference. That's all
Right.
it is. And you could argue he's the second best player of all time.
Right.
Right. I mean,
Right.
I think that's an argument to be had.
Right.
I didn't get to watch enough Magic to do it justice, if you will. I also didn't get to watch enough Bird, but
Right.
I have watched enough highlights to know that those guys could play in today's NBA. Obviously, they can play in the '60s. They can play in any era
Right.
and be successful.
Right.
And I just like what Bird does, or did, I should say. But yeah, Mike's number 1 by a bunch.
And it's funny what you say about Larry Bird. Larry Bird is one of the guys, and I would put him he was probably 6 for me.
Okay.
And the reason I say that about Larry is the way and same thing with Kobe. Postmortem with Kobe, it was the way the players talked about him. And when everyone has this debate, it's the players who stand up for Kobe.
Yeah.
And say Kobe is better than Bron.
Yeah.
And when you think about that All-Star game, when Kobe made it a one-on-one game,
And Bron passed the ball.
you can see it exactly. And Kobe got it. And if you look at the Redeem team on Netflix, LeBron said it. We needed that one piece.
Yep.
And they went and got Kobe Bean Bryant.
Yep.
So that's it. And you have an interesting story. Summer camp. You like we talked about this last segment. You were a hooper, and I'll tell you, when we were growing up, they used to do the Magic Johnson camp. There's 2 reasons I didn't go. One, I was trash. So let's just be honest. So I figured talking on radio would be better for me.
Sure.
So that was it. And then 2, we were broke. So, but I always wanted to go to the Magic camp because they used to do the Magic camp. But you had a chance to go to Jordan's camp?
Yeah.
Did you ever get to see Jordan or?
Yeah, I got to meet him, which was meeting as in every camper got to he signed something for you, and then you got to take a picture with him, which was like, as a 14-year-old, there's nothing better. It's still one of the best moments of my life. And I'll tell you shake his hand, and the guy's hand is like went halfway up my forearm.
Right.
The guy is just a different breed of a person, and really gracious, really nice. Like I said, we spoke for 15 seconds, but it was one of the best 15 seconds of my life. But he just there's something about him when you just feel him walk into the room, right? We're all out there, going through our drills and stuff, and he doesn't even say anything and walks from the corner of the gym, and everybody kind of just stops. There's just something, there's an aura about him. There just really is, and it was really cool to just, that was the only time I've ever been able to see him in person, and just it lived up to absolutely everything.
I would imagine it, but the great thing about it, and you said all the way up until the time he was drafted, you talked to the real Melo. Like kids nowadays think it's Melo from Chino Hills. The real Melo, is Carmelo Anthony.
Yes.
What was that? As a 14-year-old, that had to be a treat.
Yeah. So they split you up into age groups, and I was 14 at the time, and Carmelo Anthony ended up being my coach. And so, you spent basically 4 days with them. You're with them all the time. And this was pre-Denver, pre-New York, pre-Hall of Fame Melo. This was when he was going into his freshman year at Syracuse. And, he and I just became really close for those 4 days and built a relationship, and just one of the nicest, salt-of-the-earth people that could ever come across. And that is why I've been a Nuggets fan now for 22 years, and it's 100% based upon wherever Melo went. Like I told you previously, he could have went to the Hawks, he could have went to the Nets, he could have went anywhere, and he ended up getting drafted by the Nuggets, and that's kind of where my fandom came from. And yeah, he's just a really good person. Really good person.
I know they didn't have the camera phones back then, but Coach, you got to have a picture of that. We got to get a picture.
Oh, I can get that too.
Yes, we got to get the picture with you and Melo out there playing, and that had to be an absolute treat for you. His son is legit over at Syracuse as well.
Kyan?
Yes.
Yeah, they just fired their coach, actually. So I think that they might get somebody new in there, and I think his role will expand a bit. And yeah, he's got a chance to be an NBA player.
Yes, and that's the one thing. It's difficult to replace a legend when you have a legend that goes and does not. And we had to, it's one thing I love is I'm an alumni of the Grand Canyon. So we hung out for a second in Vegas because I love going to the tournament and seeing my team. First time I'd ever went to UNLV, and I told you when I was there, they don't have a good representation of the running Rebels.
No, they don't, and they should. I don't know why they don't.
Right. Tark the Shark started at RCC, but you would think that they would have more about them. But only one team got into the tournament this year.
Yeah.
That hurt my heart.
I was surprised.
Yes.
But, I mean, well, they beat Villanova yesterday, so they're moving on, and you got to root for them.
Yes.
Right? You got to root for them, and you wish it was GCU. I wish it was GCU, but
I do too.
I think with what they're doing over there at GCU, I think they'll be back in the tournament, in the coming years.
And you're a California kid. Who's your team? Are you looking at the Bruins? Who are you rolling with Coach?
I going to University of Redlands. That's my allegiance. Obviously, that's a Division III school, but I've never been like I don't dislike USC. I respect USC. I like UCLA. I root for all the California schools. I was rooting for Cal Baptist yesterday and Dominic Daniels, and that's a guy that needs to be talked about quite a bit more. He is very, very similar to Isaiah Thomas, Celtics Isaiah Thomas. I think Dominic Daniels should definitely get a chance in the league. That guy is special. I saw him when he played JUCO at San Bernardino Valley when they came to COD, and he's been special since day one. So I think it's been really cool to watch him get the national publicity that he deserves because he's been an awesome player for a really long time.
Yes, and that's the one thing about you, Coach. You eat, live, and breathe basketball. And I don't know if I've ever asked you this before. Was there a day or a moment that you said, this is it for me? I love this game. I'm going to play this game.
Growing up, it was football and basketball. I played both growing up, and I was better as a football player. And I really liked football, and I played running back, played receiver, played corner, played safety. I thought that was going to be what I was going to do, and it really changed, and it kind of became basketball-centric in my 8th grade year when I wanted to start focusing on one sport, which I don't necessarily regret. I do wish I would have played football in high school. I kind of think back and wonder what could have happened, but I have no regrets as far as basketball goes. It's been my life since I've been a young kid, but really, really got focused into it going into my 8th grade year.
Good stuff. And we're going to take a commercial break. And one thing that I want to say, too, when we were at the Mountain West tournament, our spouses, my wife, Brandy, got a chance to meet your wife. Your wife's name again?
Lindsay.
There you go. Mm-hmm. I'm a married man, so got a name drop.
Absolutely.
Got to let them know. Get happy
smart.
Wife, happy life.
Yes.
Great family. It was such a good time. We have to make that an annual thing.
Every year.
Yeah, my wife and I, we've gone for like maybe the last 5 years. We go every year. But next year, my Grand Canyon Lopes will be back next year. We're going to take this quick commercial break. We have Coach Sobczyk in studio with us. This is the Coachella Valley Sports Report. I'm your host, Coach B, and we are broadcasting from the injuryfirmlaw.com studios on Fox Sports 1270 AM. And as always, we're streaming 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app and catch the simulcast on Fox Sports 11 Palm Springs. Or Fox 11 Palm Springs. Don't forget to tune into the Coachella Valley Sports Report Saturdays, 11 a.m. on Fox Sports 1270 a.m. from the injuryfirmlaw.com studios. An accident can change your life in an instant. One moment you're driving to work, the next you're dealing with pain, stress, and bills that just keep piling up. That's why you need the Injury Firm, the official law firm of Fox Sports 1270 AM and the Coach B Show, to step in and protect your rights. If you've been injured because of someone else's negligence, the Injury Firm should be your first call. Car accidents, slip, trip, and falls, dog bites, and much more. They will guide you through every step and work with you to get the compensation you deserve. They don't just talk results. They have recovered millions for their clients. So don't go it alone. Get a team that's on your side from day one. Call the injury firm today at 949-575-8875 or visit them on the web at injuryfirmlaw.com.
Can't get enough of the Coachella Valley Sports Report? Then make sure you follow us. We're on X and Instagram at CVSR Fox Sports.
Don't forget to tune into the Coachella Valley Sports Report Saturdays, 11 a.m. on Fox Sports 1270 a.m. from the injuryfirmlaw.com studios. This is the Coachella Valley Sports Report. I am your host, Coach B, and we are broadcasting from the injuryfirmlaw.com studios on Fox Sports 1270 a.m. And as always, we're streaming 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. And make sure you catch the simulcast on Fox 11 Palm Springs. And once again, we have Coach Sobczyk. And I'm glad I'm getting that right. I worked on it because, so everyone knows, my last name is Arrington. I mispronounced my last name. And Coach, he coached me up. He sent me the phonetic and all that to make sure I got it correct. So I got it. I wanted to make sure I did that. And, Coach, we were talking about the brackets. And, of course, we're talking about the NCAA basketball tournament. When we were out there, we stayed at Excalibur. And I remember years ago, my wife and I stayed there, and we saw the Arizona fans. And that's how we found T-Mobile, because the Pac-12 used to do it up. They really did it up. You still see Arizona fans out there.
Yep.
And there's rumors that they're going to bring the tournament back to Vegas.
They should.
So we love that. But that's enough of me on that caveat. But talk to me about who you got. What are your upsets? What are your surprises? Duke almost got shocked.
Yeah, that Duke Siena game was really good. I think Duke just kind of, obviously more talented, but just kind of outlasted them with those 5 Siena players playing all 40 minutes. But good game. It was a good way to start off the tournament. My Final Four is Duke and Florida and Arizona and Iowa State. And then I've got Arizona over Iowa State. I've got Duke over Florida, and then I've got Arizona over Duke. So that's where I'm at. I just think Arizona's got everything you need. I think Braden Burries is awesome. I think Koa Pete's very, very good. And they're big and they shoot it well. They guard. Obviously it's a tournament, so anything can happen. I mean,
right.
They also could lose in round 2, right? But I think Arizona's got a really good chance. I think they got a really good chance.
And you're speaking about shocks and what can happen, and that's one of the things I'm just looking at my recap now, my sports ticker, and we talked about this off air. High Point beating Wisconsin. Like, where is High Point? I don't even know where this is. So
that's a great question. Yeah. Can you look it up? I don't know.
I'm gonna have to look. I am gonna look it up.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure, but man, they can really shoot the ball. I'll tell you that much.
And that's the one thing that has changed when you think about college basketball now. A basketball period. It's all about shooting. Because remember back in the day, it was the Princeton system where they would do backdoors, and now it's all about shooting. And Steph Curry kind of showed you that when he had his magical run in the tournament when he got that. And that's one of the things. That's what me personally, people that they don't like it, but in one game, anybody can win a game because it could be a fluke play. You can never know what will happen.
Sure. And
I love the fact when you have that, and that's why they call it March Madness. When you look at High Point coming over there and beating a Big Ten power, it still hurts my heart that Arizona's Big 12.
Yeah.
That hurts.
I can't keep up with all of it, to be completely honest with you. I missed the Pac-12. Well, I missed the Pac-10. And then the Pac-12.
Right. Yes. So. Yes, it was. And I remember an older guy when I used to be Pac-10. He said, what was it? It was a Pacific Coast Conference. I was like, oh, my goodness, what is that? But it was the Pacific Coast Conference and what they did that. I think that Arizona, I agree with you. I think Arizona is positioned to make a deep run. That's who I've got.
Yeah.
If I had to pick a team that was going to get it, I would say Arizona is going to get it. So I absolutely love to see what's going on. I don't like to see them being in the Pac-12. I thought they were at first because I was in Arizona in Vegas talking to somebody. I kept saying Pac-10. He's like, no, we're Pac-12. I was like, oh, wow. So their tournament was in Kansas.
Yeah.
That's insane. That is absolutely insane. But yeah, I'm excited to see that and see what happens with that tournament and how it goes. So, do you have? How's your bracket looking? Have you had anything where you're just like? Because mine's, I told you I had a bracket before and it was busted after 1 week.
Yeah, I mean, it's decent. I mean, I didn't have VCU over Carolina. I didn't have High Point over Wisconsin.
Right.
Outside of that, I think I don't know off the top of my head now, but I think I've missed 5 so far.
Oh, wow.
So it's looking good. Obviously, it's only the round of 32 starts today, so it gets a little bit more dicey as you go. But one more thing, tournament-wise, is that I'm really bummed out that Arkansas and Arizona are in the same bracket because Darius Acuff, I don't think he's the best player in the country, but he's one, 2, or 3. I think A.J. DeBonsa is probably the best player in the country, but if I'm an NBA GM, I'm taking a hard look. I think A.J. goes 1, and obviously you're going to look at Boozer and Darren Peterson, obviously. Those are all 3 pretty much locks, but if you're not looking at Darius Acuff in that conversation, I think you're really missing out. I think he's going to be a multi-time All-Star. He's just very special.
And when you look at the predictions, and I'll talk football, it's like when you look at the QB Mendoza, and now people are saying that they don't think he's going to be the number 1 pick. I don't know what film you're looking at, and you look at some of these players. But when you think about it, Kobe wasn't a number 1 draft pick. Sure. Jordan wasn't a number 1 draft pick.
Right.
Brady wasn't a number 1 draft pick. So it's almost like playing the lottery. You just never know because you can't measure someone's heart.
Right.
And you never know what they're going to turn out to be. And I know that Steve Nash's team was in the tournament and they're doing well. I mean, he played at a little school, Santa Clara.
Yep.
No one wanted him, a little Canadian out of Santa Clara that no one wanted. But boy, did he turn out to be a good player. Yeah. And like you said, you when you look at the tournament, TCU, good big matchups. TCU Duke, that's going to be a big matchup there.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that one. And you have St. John's at Kansas, Louisville, Michigan State, UCLA, Connecticut. Ooh, that's going to be a good one. Who you got in that one?
Oh, man. My heart wants to say UCLA, but man, it's hard to bet against Dan Hurley.
Right.
I mean, he's the real deal, and his guys. I think he's probably the best X's and O's guy that we have in college basketball. So
right.
it's just tough. It's tough. I wouldn't be mad to see either team. I would root for UCLA, but I think UConn's probably going to beat them.
I'm a USC guy, so I like hearing that. I definitely like hearing that. Hurley, he has to give some expertise to his brother who just left Arizona State.
Yeah. I
So
did see that. Yep.
So that's interesting. Now there were Byron Scott has been mentioned that he wants that job.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So NBA coach, and it makes sense because he's a Arizona State legend. So that's one of those things you like to see alumni go there and be a part of it. So you got Florida at Iowa, Vanderbilt, Nebraska. VCU at Illinois, Texas A&M at Houston. That with this NIL money, they're really turning that program around.
Yeah, they are.
Arizona, Utah State. That's a tough one for me now because now it's a Mountain West team.
Right.
But they're leaving the Mountain West, so they're going to be a Pac-12. That's going to be interesting. So Arizona left the Pac-12, and Utah State is going to the Pac-12. So that's going to be interesting. And High Point at Arkansas. That's a game we didn't see happening.
No.
Texas, Gonzaga, the Cinderella that just won't go away. They love the story that they had and the way they built that program. I'm hoping that my GCU Antelopes can be the same way. You got Miami of Florida at Purdue, Michigan at St. Louis. Oh, that game already happened. Michigan won. So Michigan won that game.
What was the final on that?
95-72.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Michigan, St. Louis. That's the game we were talking about off air, right? Yes. So Michigan finally pulled that out. Texas Tech, Alabama, and then Tennessee, Virginia, and then Kentucky, Iowa State. That's going to be a good one. That's going to be a good bracket. I'm looking forward to seeing that. I don't get a chance to watch enough sports, basketball, but this is the time that I watch basketball. What is it about March Madness? It just makes it so special. Is that one game?
Yeah, I think it's they're not like the NBA. They're not playing a 7-game series. It's just High Point's obviously a great example. You get hot right as a 12 seed, and you go in and you can go beat you go beat Wisconsin
by one.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it's the nature of people rooting for the underdog and hoping for the upset, and there's all the game winners and all the buzzer beaters, and I think it's something that's like it's nothing. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like March Madness.
Absolutely, I know we'll talk about it in the second segment when we go national. My guy Jake, but you, Jake, the one player had first basket of the year. What was his name? Cameron Johnson, first shot of the year, wins the game. I mean, how special is that? That's going to be the one shining moment of video, right?
That'll be on there.
That's always, I love that. It's almost to me, it's like the Super Bowl Sunday when you know it's the best day of the year, but it's the last day of football.
Sure.
And then when they start playing that one shining moment, there's no more college basketball.
Right.
And it's a wrap, and it's over. But talking about basketball, let's transition now back to the local market. And we talked about the Coachella Valley Basketball Classic. Mm-hmm. Next week, we'll be doing the draft. I've updated you. You and Coach Matt over at DCA will coach the boys' game. I've been sending you over the nominations. I know you've been looking at them. Mm-hmm. We're going to do a draft and with all the players. But last year, tell me about your experience last year and that All-Star game. First year, we got it off and made that thing happen.
Yeah, it's always cool to get, you get to coach some players you haven't coached before and you've had respect for, you played against, you competed against. It's just fun getting kind of everybody together, right? You get usually a practice or two, and then you get the game, and that's the only time you're going to be able to coach these other kids from whether it be La Quinta or Palm Springs or Rancho Mirage and whoever. But it's cool because you don't have that opportunity, through those 4 years to coach these kids, and you're game planning against them, and it's real fun to be able to roll out the ball and say, let's go, let's go to work. And we had a great experience. And, Augustine out of Desert Christian.
DCA, yes.
He's a special talent. And it was really fun getting a chance to get to know him a little bit, and along with the other kids, obviously. But he was the game MVP, and, he took over in the fourth. It was a back-and-forth game until he decided to not make it a back-and-forth game and kind of take over a little bit. But it was just fun. It was a fun experience. The crowd was good. The energy was good. Looking forward to doing it again. Right.
And once again, we have Coach Sobczyk in studio with us, Palm Desert boys basketball coach. And when you talk about Augustine, it's funny because I have that picture of him. Actually, my frame broke. I had the picture on my wall in my office in the back. And he's at University of Texas El Paso right now.
Correct.
And he talked about, and you probably experienced this as well, being born and raised in the Valley, now that he's there, it's a big city. It's a completely different experience.
Yeah.
But like when you were down in Redlands, it's completely different. Right. Everyone doesn't know everyone when you go to these big areas and whatnot. So it was pretty cool because we had him call in when he was out there, and it's just the adjustment that he had to go through.
Yeah.
But how excited are you about this year? Like I said, we have not done the draft yet. That'll come up next Friday. We'll get together. We'll draft the young ladies game. We'll draft the young men's game. And that game is going to take place on August 12th. We'll be at Indio High School. But are you ready for that draft, Coach?
Yeah, absolutely. It's always, like I said, it's fun. It makes it fun. It's fun to try to build your roster. And, we'll just see how the chips fall.
Yes, and you won it last year, the first All-Star game we did. Hopefully we did that game justice.
Yeah, absolutely.
And hopefully it was a good game.
It was fun.
And just like I told Coach Emmer, thank you for coming out and doing that game and believing in us. Because I know you're like, who is this guy? I know you came to the station before when we were in Riverside.
Yeah.
So we had we had met before like that. But sometimes when you're the outsider, and this place is so special, right? It's a unique place. Everyone knows everyone. It's a really close-knit area. As I meet more and more people, they say, don't upset one person because everyone's going to find out about it. So hopefully we did that game justice, and hopefully everyone enjoyed the game.
Yeah, and I think it's built up quite a bit of buzz, and now year two is just going to continue to get better. And
yes.
You look at it 10 years down the road, it's going to be even bigger. So I think, like I said, I've told you before on and off camera that the things you're doing for these kids and these coaches in the Valley is unprecedented. It's something we haven't had out here, and it's a great platform for these kids. So we all appreciate you.
I appreciate it, and we'll have coverage of it on the show on Fox 11. So we'll have the highlights for everyone to see as we grow this thing. We're really excited about it as we continue to do it with the Coachella Valley. When we came out, the basketball game was the first thing to launch. Then we did the baseball game. We'll be doing the baseball game again in June. We did a volleyball game last year, and then we did baseball, basketball, and then football. In that football game, we included the Imperial Valley. Imperial Valley is where we did that game. So it was a really, really good game. So we're excited about it. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We're just having a casual conversation with Coach in studio. We still good, Coach?
Absolutely.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Just want to make sure we're good to go. Yep. Having a casual conversation. Two old friends just talking about some hoops.
That's right.
We'll be right back. Let's go ahead and do this. This is the Coachella Valley Sports Report. I'm your host, Coach B, and we are broadcasting from the injuryfirmlaw.com baseketball.com studios on Fox Sports 1270 AM. And as always, we're streaming 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. Make sure you catch the simulcast on Fox 11 Palm Springs.
Can't get enough of the Coachella Valley Sports Report? Then make sure you follow us. We're on X and Instagram at CVSR Fox Sports.
This is the Coachella Valley Sports Report. I'm your host, Coach B, and we are broadcasting from the injuryfirmlaw.com studios on Fox Sports 1270 AM, and we are streaming 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. Make sure you catch the simulcast on Fox 11. And once again, we have Coach Sobczyk in studio with us, Palm Desert High School boys basketball coach. And I told Coach when we were talking about it in Vegas, I said, yeah, come into the show. We talked about that. Come on in. This is going to be the first. Last week, the show aired on Fox 11. It was the pilot. So we actually had Coach Emmer was in the pilot. So we had some of the old stuff because they wanted to see what the show would look like. Mm-hmm. But this is the first legit show that we're doing. So we appreciate you coming in and doing this and talking some basketball. And it's good sometimes you don't have the pressure of the season and all that you're worried about. I don't know if it's the same with you, Coach, but I remember watching the Super Bowl, and once it was over and I realized football was done and sports were over, it was a lady sitting on the couch. I was like, oh, man, I'm married to her. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if that's the way it is, but basketball is all year round, Coach.
Right. Yeah, no, it's nice. Obviously, you want to play as long as you can in the tournament and go as far as you can. But when it does end, it's nice to have some time with the family. Because things are just, for those 4.5, 5 months, things are just so hectic, and I'm gone all the time. And having 2 little kids at home, it's really nice to be able to, for a little bit, go out and, get off of work and come home and take them to the pool and play basketball with them. It's nice to be present. And I'm very present at all times, but during season it makes it a little difficult just with all the obligations and travel and all that kind of stuff. So it is nice. We will kick things back off April 1st as far as spring ball goes for Palm Desert, but it's been nice spending time with the family.
And I know it always helps. And one thing that I always like to say, and I'm sure you'll echo the same, it's one thing to be a coach, but one of the toughest jobs of a coach is the wife. My wife was a teen mom. She would come out there with the oranges and all that stuff. And I'm sure your wife is the back. You guys have kids, mm-hmm. So she's there when you can't be. Yep. So it's always good. You always got to tip your caps to the wives and everything that they give.
No question, absolutely.
Yes, and then we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about some basketball hoops, Coach. Now, I know we talked about Carmelo and you followed him in his career. Mm-hmm. Kobe was in your top 5.
Yes.
Now, how do you feel about Bam? And everyone, this is what people seem to forget. Just so everyone know, the record still sits there. Wilt still scored 100. Mm-hmm. So it's like now you're racing for second place.
Right.
But everyone's upset and saying they shouldn't have let Bam get 83 because he passed Kobe. He took all these free throws. But when Kobe hit 80, do you see how many shots he got up? It was like an AI stat sheet. 46. I mean, he was, and for the kids out there, when I say AI, I don't mean the artificial intelligence. I'm talking Allen Iverson.
Yes.
But it was like AI stat sheet. AI would have 20 points, but took up 45 shots, but what are your thoughts about that? That it's a historic night,
Yeah. So 83 is 83. Whether you do it at the YMCA, whether you do it at a men's league game, whether you do it in high school, college, and I mean in the NBA, it doesn't matter how you get it. 43 free throws is a lot, right? Nobody's going to say anything different as far as that goes. But shoot, to score 83 in an NBA game is, I don't care how you get it. I don't care if you're playing the Wizards. I don't care if they're tanking. I don't care if anything. Do I think Kobe's 81 is more impressive than Bam's 83? Absolutely. But that's not for me to say, right? I mean, 83 is 83, right? And I happened to shoot 43 free throws and 22 threes, but he had to get there somehow, and he did it, right? So he's always, at least till somebody goes over 83, it's going to be Wilt at 100, Bam at 83, and Kobe at 81, and it's pretty cool company. Right. And, the crazy thing is his previous career high was 41, right? So for a guy like that, I mean, if you were to pick 50 NBA players who potentially could break, not the 100, but Kobe's 81, you're not mentioning Bam. Right. He's just not in that conversation. And it's no disrespect. I mean, the guy's an awesome player. He's an Olympian. He's going to be a Hall of Famer now with this 83-point game. But you're probably not picking him to be the guy that's going to go do that. So for him to do it is awesome, right? You love to see it. It's you always want to root for guys, so it's good to see.
And even when you think about it, if you would think just on that team, I would have thought it'd been Hero.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even think it would have been Bam.
Probably,
So
yeah.
even on that team, you would have thought you wouldn't give it to him. But for him to come out and do it, and I always tell people this when you have that debate and you have that argument. Oh, they were playing against this team. Last time I checked, they were all in the National Basketball Association.
Correct.
They're getting paid to be there.
Correct.
It doesn't matter. And even people tried to discredit Kobe when he had the 81. And again, when I talked about this postmortem, where Jalen Rose talked about it, he said, "No, we were saying we should be doubling him. We should be doing all this,
Sure.
getting the ball out of his hand." Kobe was just going for it. To me, what's even more impressive, and I know Luka scored a 60. You know what's a more impressive 60 to me was Kobe's 60 in his last game.
Yeah.
His body was busted.
Yep.
He was tore up,
Yep.
and he just had a will to win. And I don't know about you. You don't have to answer this if you don't want to. I know you're a head coach, so. But to me, I think that the players are too friendly now. I remember when I was a kid, our coach was Pat Riley, and Pat Riley said, if you knock a player over and you pick him up, you're getting fined.
Yeah.
But nowadays, these kids are on travel teams together. They're social mediaing it together, and they're doing everything. But I'll get off that soapbox, Coach. I don't need you to have to go down that road.
I can.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm happy to. Well, that's a big part of why Mike's among other things, why Jordan's number one for me, and that's why Kobe's number two, is because they don't make players like them anymore, right? And I'm not talking about the talent level. Obviously, the talent level is immense. But a guy like Kevin Durant is, don't want to say just as talented, but does a lot of things offensively that those guys can do, right? Yeah, there's guys who are very, very talented, but you're right, it's the mindset. And Kobe and Mike are just a different breed of competitors. And, you look at the guys that I have in my top five outside of Tim Duncan, but Tim Duncan was a competitor in his own way. He did it very silently. But you look at Mike, Kobe, Larry Bird doesn't get the credit he deserves for how competitive he was.
Right.
And then Shaq. Right? Those guys are very competitive guys. And I think you're absolutely right. It's with the AAU culture. It's with all of that now. You guys are playing on teams or you're playing on the EYBL circuit together and are against one another. There's friendships that are – and it's cool to have friends. Like, I get it. But when you walk between those two lines, it should be competitive and not shaking hands, not hugging each other, not doing the jersey switch at the end and taking pictures. Like, that's a new thing. And I'm not a fan of it. I don't get to make that call, but you got to be competitive. When you step in, in between those lines, you got to be competitive. I coached a kid my first year at Palm Desert by the name of DeAndre Sanders, who's one of the best players I've ever coached. He was talented, but what his best attribute was he was a crazy competitor. He would pick you up full court, right, and then he would go score 30 on the offensive end. And he was, when you talk about it losing a game, that kid would go into a spiral. Right, because he was so darn competitive. He wanted to win everything. He wanted to win every drill in practice. He wanted to win everything we did. Right, he wanted to be the first one to the film sessions. He was just like a and I only got to coach him for 1 year, but it was such a joy to see that kids are still like that. Right, and they're very few and far between. But that competitive nature it's not completely gone, but it's definitely different than it was 20-some years ago.
And it's one of the things that I was just telling my wife this story the other night, and it was the story where D. Wade talked about Kobe. And it was the All-Star game. Mm-hmm. Kobe goes up for the layup. D. Wade tries to block it, hits his nose, breaks his nose. Mm-hmm. And D. Wade said they were playing Kobe the next few nights, and he had on the black mask on his face. Yeah. And he said that he called Kobe before the game, said, "Hey, sorry about that. I apologize." He said Kobe said one thing to him. He said, "I love it." Yeah. So I love it. Yeah. That competition, it's just having that fire inside of you. Mm-hmm. And those are the things. I sound like the old guy that's get off my lawn type of guy now. But those, they, like you said, they don't make players like that anymore. Right. And that's one of the things I liked about Jordan. He wasn't worried about being your friend. Right. He just wanted to flat out. He just wanted to get rid of you. And that's the thing where they talk about the story where they were comparing him to Clyde. Yeah. And then in the finals, that was the 1 year he hit those threes and did the shrug. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But Jordan, he told the story. He told Magic, I'm going to obliterate this guy. Yeah. And you just can't. When you get a player like that, it's got to be a special thing for you. Yeah. And you just don't get them all that often. I mean, that's the reality of it now. And you just don't get them that often. So when you do get them, it's a breath of fresh air. Right. Right. Because here's the reality of it. I'm more competitive than 99.9% of the population. So if you can match my energy,
right? And you can match my competitiveness. I think you're going to do fairly well as far as if you're a player, right? Because you're just going to work yourself into a spot to be successful.
Right.
And it's just I wish we had 12 guys on our roster that had that type of competitive nature. But back to DeAndre Sanders, yeah, he was special.
Yes, and then talk about your player, because you had a special young man. His name escapes me now. He was the MVP last year. He's a senior. He's on your roster. He was the MVP last year
As a junior?
No, yes.
Ja'Cory Jones.
Yes. And then who's your special players that you have this year? You had another one. He came in here. I know he was the MVP. I can't think of his name now.
Paul Dreisbach was.
There it is.
Paul Dreisbach was all CIF and first team all
CIF. I'm sorry, all CIF.
And Will Wilson also was all league. So
yes.
Yeah, those two guys were our two leading scorers and our main guys this past year. Yeah.
Now the reason I'm asking about them, coach, is I just want to make sure they're in that All-Star game.
They're both on the list. Will's knee is still not 100%. I was talking to him about it on yesterday, and he probably can't go.
Yeah,
he'll be there. Like I'll make sure we'll draft him, and we'll make sure he's there and part of it, and gets a jersey and the whole
yes.
nine. But I don't think his knee is going to allow him to go by April 12th.
Okay.
But Paul's in, Jordan Preciado's in, Zane Jordan's in. Those three are going to be in.
Right.
Will more than likely will not.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So and that's one of those things. We'll see. So I told you about. And this is one of the things you and Coach Matt can talk about. They made an agreement because it's because it's Downey Warren out in LA, and those are rivals. Mm-hmm. So both of the coaches said before the draft starts, we need our kids. So that's something you and Matt can talk about. But that's what they said.
I would like to do that. I'll sit down with Garrison and we'll see if we can figure that all out, because I know he's got a couple of his kids that are nominated as well and are going to play, and his son is a senior, so yes. I know that he's going to want his son. So we'll figure out some pre-agreement where we can make that work.
Tell him, Coach, hey, I'm going to draft your son if you don't give me
You take one of my players first, I'm taking your son first. So that's where we're at.
Yes, indeed. So we're excited about that. And I know, like I said before, once again, we got Coach Sobczyk in studio with us. We're getting close up against the clock. Thank you so much for coming in, Coach. We appreciate it. I know you live and breathe basketball, and you see those players, and that's just got to be something. Was there an all-star game out here when you were in high school?
It was we would do, it was a Riverside County versus San Bernardino County all-star game.
Was that the one in Cajon?
Yep.
Yes.
Exactly what it was.
Yes.
Exactly what it was. Yep.
Yeah,
exactly
I remember that. The coach there was he was a good guy, and then he ended up retiring, and that's why we ended up taking over the game out in the Inland Empire. So yeah, we tried to make it nice for the kids, give them a jersey, and just so everyone knows, the players will get a free jersey. Free of charge, but the parents, you do have to pay to get in. So we just got to let that be known. Just like when you go to your child's high school game, you have to pay to get in. Yeah. My kids played football, and we had to pay to get in. Well, I didn't because I was on Fox Sports, but that's just me. But we're excited about it, Coach. We're looking forward to it. Again, like I had a really good time. My wife really enjoyed herself when we were out in Vegas as well, because to her it's boring. Yeah. It's boring to her. It's like it's work.
Sure.
But it's boring to her, but we enjoy going out there and being a part of it. And it was nice that we came out there and we had a chance to catch up with you and talk some hoops. So
absolutely.
We're going to make that an annual thing.
Every year. We're in every year.
And hopefully you enjoyed the conversations we had here, casual conversations as we do this. So
always.
But thanks so much for coming in, Coach. We look forward to seeing you at the All-Star game and then seeing what you're going to do next year with your season. We know you're going to you a little bit of a rebuild, but Palm Desert doesn't rebuild, you reload.
Yep.
But I know you guys will be ready come next year.
We'll get it figured out.
Yes, you will. That's spoken like a true alumni. I absolutely love it. So thank you so much for coming in, Coach. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you for being our guest. Once again, this was the Coachella Valley Sports Report. I'm your host, Coach B, and we are broadcasting from the InjuryFirmLaw.com studios on Fox Sports 1270 AM. And as always, we're streaming 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app, and you can see us on Fox Sports 11 Palm Springs.